Yo, welcome to Crate 808, and today we were honoured to be sitting down once more with a UK rap legend, a returning guest to the pod. Yes, Blak Twang linked us up just to sit down, talk to him, see where he's at the moment, mentally, spiritually, just generally with COVID-19 and the George Floyd protests and, you know, all that other stuff that's just been making life chaos at the moment. Yeah, this is one of the podcasts that we thought, you know, we should check in with the guests, see how this whole kind of movement and uproar and anger is kind of with the people that, you know, we love in this culture and that we have grown up with, and they've shaped our kind of lives. So yeah, just to see how they're doing and hopefully sit down, learn something and try to gauge some of this with a bit more of a sane mind. So yes, Twang was very positive, very good energy. So yeah, without further ado, man, let's dive in. Bro, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, you know.
Yeah.
I'm all right. You know, we're alive in these mad times, so
it's crazy, man. Crazy.
So that's all that matters, really.
Yeah, man. I know. I feel you. How's your mentals, mate? How's your spirituality? How's that all holding up with all this going on, man?
You know what? Because I'm a very calm, laid back person anyway, so I don't really get stressed or frazzled by none of this stuff too tough. I mean, yeah, of course, certain times the temperature's rising a little bit and your blood boiling sometimes, but I don't really get out of control. So I'm pretty calm. I'm pretty able to actually just sit back and assess the situation and use my own rationale and say, yeah, okay, I see what's going on. And then, you know, from there, sometimes you do act off emotion, but, you know, more often than not, I'm calm. And right now I'm saying it's been difficult because, you know, coupled with the coronavirus and then all the mad unrest that's going on around the world and governments, just, you're like, wow, we got these people as leaders, and it's shocking. Do you know what I mean? So it's mad, but we're keeping sane. And, you know, I'm blessed to have had a great father who set me up correctly. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. It's crucial, man. It's crucial. It's that education to know, because I'm not going to lie, bro. I, throughout this whole thing, the COVID thing, and then obviously the protests, I don't think I've been very well equipped in life to deal with this, man. Like, you know, it feels like I'm learning on the job a little bit. It feels like you seem to be in a better place dealing with it, though, bro. And I think that's a good thing, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of it happen before because, as you know, everything goes around in cycles. So it's kind of coming around and going around. And I mean, if we look back at even just using the whole what's happening with the Black Lives Matter movement right now, not even just the movement, just the whole thing that's going on right now, you think to yourself, it's been going on since we were kids. You know, we can look back every decade, to go back to the 80s, 90s, 2000s, noughties, and now. So in a way, you've seen it all happen before. It's just that it's now evolving and taking shape, and you're now seeing different people getting involved and saying, actually, you know what, this is enough. The coronavirus obviously is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like it as far as on this side of the world. We know that certain African countries suffered from Ebola, but they handled it quite well. We know China's had numerous like viruses over the years. And even I remember actually, because just before lockdown, funny enough, I was in Hawaii and San Francisco. And I remember being on the plane, me and my missus were on the plane, and we all kept saying, man, you know, it's like a lot of these Far Eastern kind of nationalities always still keep wearing them face masks. And I was like, it's interesting. Obviously, it's from the SARS experience, you know, going back years. And then just to find that now, it's, you know, I just heard the news a minute ago to say, as from Monday, it's compulsory now for you to to wear a mask before you go on any public transport. So, boy, it's mad. But, you know, it's just a case of just adapting and using your brain and thinking, right, I know I'm going to handle myself. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to be part of the herd that's just going to run to wherever they see. If there's a fire over here and they see people running, you just run along with them without actually seeing what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way I handle it, really.
I like it, man. I mean, this is the thing when you were saying there about the coronavirus, and, you know, you see all these signs in hindsight, and then it's just at this moment, the thing, like we're talking about the Black Lives Matter stuff, and you're right, bro, it keeps going on and on and on. I mean, I want to know what you think is different, though. Like, what now could be the thing that just makes it just tip over the edge a little bit and actually see some change, not just in the US, but in the UK?
I mean, the change, I'll tell you, the first significant change is the fact that more white people are now actually really almost, they can feel empathy, some sort of empathy to what's going on with black people, that's been going on with black people for decades and decades and decades. I'm not sure anything's necessarily going to change because coupled, you know, just seeing all them people that have got involved that actually aren't black, and usually they're kind of like, well, it's not me and it's not, my community or whatever, and they usually stay silent. Now they've been I've been saying it for years anyway. I remember when I say it with football, like I was like, why is it the black players that have got to be brought onto TV whenever there's a racial incident on a football ground or an international match or whatever, when the problem really isn't the black players, it's surely the white racists.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And so it's for them, because I mean, whenever, to use a cliche, whenever there's like a terrorist attack and it happens to be maybe Islamic related or whatever, they're like, oh, the Muslim community should come out and condemn this and da 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 da. So when it's an attack against black people and it's by a white racist, surely the white community should be the ones coming out to really deal with it. And that's the most obvious change that we've seen this time around from young people, which I'm very proud of. And it's kind of nice to see that actually they're taking the front to say, you know what, enough is enough. You got to treat people equally. You can't keep. I mean, we saw this guy get killed right in front of everybody, and it was like usually you've seen police officers in America be so gung ho and just shoot black people, like whether it's a woman, man, child, whatever. They've just killed them. This time around, you saw this guy literally killing this guy slowly and in front of everybody, brazenly, knowing fully well that he might get away with it. And that's what's different. And the whole world saw that. And that's why there's been such an outrage and an uproar, basically. And that's why it's not about black, it's not about white, it's about good versus evil. And that's really what it's about this time around. Obviously, unfortunately, there's always going to be elements that will hijack it and use it for other reasons that ain't really, beneficial and doing anything positive for the cause. You know what I mean? It's kind of taken away to a certain degree from what's happening. However, you got to see past that and know that it is a small minority, it is a small handful of people that are actually using that to take advantage. I remember during the London riots in 2011, I was right in the middle of it in Croydon, because that's where I live. And when it was starting, I was right there, and I was looking at people going, why are you here? Oh, well, we're just going to go read certain things. So sometimes people hijack it for their own agenda, but the bigger picture is you have to be noticed, you have to get their attention. And it seems like in the West, the only way you're going to get people's attention is by just literally going in their faces. And sometimes it might take you actually hitting a few of their properties that they hold more value. They seem to hold more value for than a human life to get their attention before they actually act upon it. So, it is what it is. It's collateral damage, as I say. So
yeah, I know, man. It's an interesting thing, because I think like it's transcended. The Black Lives Matter thing has transcended into people's daily lives here. This is the reason we're doing these episodes, is like, we can't speak on rap, we can't speak on hip hop, this music that has educated us, without talking to the people this is affecting and the fact that they're being hurt by it. And I was thinking like, man, I wonder if like workplaces, and I wonder if like, like schools and that are going to be a bit different now. Are people going to think a little bit differently? Is that me being optimistic? I don't know. I don't know. I think that might be a thing though.
Here's the thing. So even if schools don't actually add it to say their general conversation or their curriculum or whatever, I think we're in an age of technology and an age of information where the kids will actually bring it up in the class. The kids are a lot more fearless. Like I call this generation, like, you had the generation X and you had the generation this, that, and ever. I call this generation fearless. Do you know what I mean? You call them generation F or whatever you want to call them, but generation they're not afraid to literally say, this is how I see it, and this is what I want to talk about, and this is what we're going to address. And whether the teachers bring it or the school, the school heads of years or whatever, the kids will bring it to the classroom, or university students will address it, and they'll talk about it whatever forum they're at. I mean, yeah, we're optimistic, but I think it will happen regardless anyway, irrespective of what teachers want to do, irrespective of what schools want to talk about, whether they want to add it to history, whether they want to add it to the general discussion topics or whatever, it will still be spoken about.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because it makes me think about like when we grew up, the education I was taught in the schools was, it always, history is written by certain people. And this was always, I never really learned much about Black or Asian culture, that at all at school. And I'm not sure if that's changed now or what, but like, I think that rounded element, the internet now, and just sharing, like Twitter, bro, through this whole thing, just going on Twitter and seeing what's cracking.
Of course. And being able to actually share your thoughts and give your opinions on those things as well. And, for a fact, a lot of people are listening, and people that agree with you will either retweet it or share it or whatever. And I think that's why the information is just getting everywhere. No one can use the excuse of, oh, well, I didn't know, oh, maybe, oh, ignorance. No, bro, ignorance ain't gonna wash right now.
Mm-mm.
Do you know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is, even someone like a famous, I don't know if you've seen the whole thing with Tyson Fury over the last 24 hours. He's one of the people. I mean, bless him, but at the end of the day, we know what this cause is about. So don't come giving me the all lives matter thing when you know for a fact is you're trying to be provocative and trying to be like, oh no, all lives matter. No, it's not about all lives mattering right now. It's all about Black Lives Matter, and it's been explained to you enough times already. So you're either gonna say it or don't say it at all.
Mm.
I mean, don't, because to me, when you put that all lives matter thing, it makes you look dumb. It makes you look like actually, oh, well, it's not really affecting Black people alone. No, it is affecting Black people right now. We're not saying we're the only people getting killed, but right now we are the people that have been getting targeted over years and years and years. I have numerous examples of it just personally dealing with police. Literally, like to the point where you're like, why are you speaking to me like that? Why are you talking to me like that? Why are you saying stuff like that? Kind of thing, and they would never say it to other people, and you're just, all it is, it's all born out of prejudices, your preconceived ideas of what you think I am or what I'm supposed to be doing or whatever. And that's what they don't understand. So when we say Black Lives Matter, we're like, all lives don't matter if our lives are being treated less than a normal person should be treated. So in a way, again, going back to Twitter won't let you get away with it by saying, oh, nah, but, we're just one people and I don't see color. No, you have to see color, and don't see color in a negative way. Just see color because this person happens to be that color or this person happens to be that ethnicity, and just respect it. Like, no one's better than anybody and no one should be worse than anybody. And that's literally where we're coming from with this whole Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah, and it just makes me think of, I don't know, man, was it the Soul on Ice the other day, Raz Kaz?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, nature of the threat, bro. Like,
I love it.
It has, and that, just listening to that, thinking that the birth of, when he goes in on the birth of racism, oh man, and I'm just thinking, mate, this is hip hop that is teaching me, if it's not the right lesson, it's a different lesson to what I've been taught.
Of course.
As a rap podcast right now, I'm finding solace in these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm finding like, oh, that education's still there and I'm still learning. I mean, how you feel? Have you been listening? How you been getting through this, man, with music and that?
Well, funny enough, it's actually, I mean, because of so many things have happened within that same time period, like the death of one of my best friends, Ty, as everyone knows, was really, 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 really affecting me big time. Then obviously the COVID thing and seeing people around me dying. My father passing 8 months ago, just after me and you actually spoke, funny enough.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of things going on. So I've been listening to a lot of music. However, I've not really been listening to like new music per se. I mean, I listen to like classics, but I've been writing a lot. I've got a lot to obviously write about. So I've been writing a lot. I've been inspired by like old reggae songs and old R&B songs, Marvin Gaye and Nina Simone and just beautiful music. Like, so I've just been really getting through it, like listen to some Barry White, some Isaac Hayes, just real good music. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really getting caught up in the whole like whatever's popping right now when someone's trying to do some new dance move or whatever. I'm all like, let me listen to stuff, and then I'm going over like old lyrics. Like I listen to like some Public Enemy, Fight the Power, some KRS-One, You Must Learn, or My Philosophy, and just stuff that really taught me as a kid growing up. Do you know what I mean? Because these were the songs, like you said, we didn't get this history in schools or college or whatever. So our teachers and our professors and lecturers were your Chuck D's, your KRS-Ones, Lakeem Shabazz, Rakim, Nas. Do you know what I'm trying to say? These people that really imparted a lot of wisdom and knowledge. Tupac is another one who spoke about all these things. I listened to Fela Kuti and listen to the music. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I've really been, other than being in the garden for so long because we had such great weather, but from literally morning till evening. And these are the kind of tracks I'm playing: R&B, some soul, some original Afro beats, some reggae, some, you know what I mean? And that's what I've been getting from my day and my time, really.
Yeah, man. It's inspirational, man. And yes, we can't forget, rest in peace to your dad, rest in peace to Ty as well. And that hit home, man. That really, that was such a big loss that I'm glad that you're talking about how it's, you're listening to old tracks, because I'm doing kind of similar, but with more like hip hop and just like a lot more Tribe, a lot more Della, a lot more Prince Paul.
I'm hearing all of that. And speaking of Ty, I've listened to his music non-stop, obviously, since his past, and his songs just make even more sense, now that he's transitioned into the other realm. But yeah, all that stuff is really it's been therapeutic as well. It's been inspiring. It's made me, like I said, it's made me write a lot more. There's a lot more to talk about, obviously, now, because after, leading up to this whole thing, I was almost like, I'm not even inspired because it's just Corona and you're just stuck in a house. And, usually when I write, it's based off of my experiences wherever I go and what I'm doing and whatever. But if you're not doing anything but, waking up, going outside in your yard, you're not really coming out of the house and whatever, what can you write about? And then all of a sudden, bang, everything just happened. And then, yeah, it's been like that.
Well, man, I'm glad that you're getting your pen on the pad, man, and we're here for it, bro. Do you know that, man?
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man. Got some really good music coming, and I've recorded some stuff. I'm not sure if you got to hear I'm sure you probably did, actually, because I know you're a man that don't miss nothing. But I did the tribute for Ty literally 2 days after it passed, and I just had to get it out there. So, and on that same day, I recorded more music as well. And since then, just been writing, ready to go back in the studio and knock it out.
This is the thing, innit? When there's chaos in the world, bro, there tends to be art that reflects it.
Absolutely.
Comes out of it, man.
You find a lot of strength and creativity in adversity sometimes. And yeah, it's just how if you're one of them conscious thinking people and you're not just like, you ain't got no sense to really write anything, because sometimes people just, it goes in one ear and no processing and goes out the other. Yeah. I'm not one of the people. I take everything and I absorb everything and then process it and then give it back to you in my own, with my own take.
Man,
so yeah,
that's sick, man. Well, whenever you want to drop anything, even if you want to come back on, have a chat, we're hoping to make these a bit more regular, innit? Everyone's in quarantine.
Listen, you know what? Honestly, I've been thinking about it. I was like, 2021 is going to be an amazing year, provided things kind of get back to some sort of normality. But I think everyone's going to really, this time of reflection and this time of really seeing what could happen with a pandemic will make people appreciate life a bit more and make you realize, actually, I've got to live this life to the fullest because it could be gone. Tomorrow isn't promised. And I think for that reason, 2021, I'm expecting everyone to really go to the max. You get me? So whether it's music, whether it's whatever you do in life, like that's how I'm seeing 2021. 2020 has been the shortest year like ever in history. It started in January and finished in February, and then the rest of it is just like nothing else.
It's just, well, mate, it's crazy, man. But you're right. I love the energy, bro. That's the energy I need. 2021, let's smash it. Do you know what I mean? I'm here.
That's it. Absolutely, man. What have you been doing?
Oh man, what have I been to get through this whole thing? I don't know, man. I've been quite triggered, to be honest. I've been quite triggered. Like I get angry quick now. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older or whatever. I don't know what it is, but like,
let's get more mellow as you get older. By the way,
I know, bro. I know. That's the thing, innit? But it's like it feels like I do the meditation, do all that. But there's just people like obviously the government, the way they've dealt with this whole situation here has not helped. But do you know what, man? It's the music, bro. It's the music.
Yeah, man. And speaking of governments, by the way, bro, honestly, I'm going to say, even though I said 2020 is like the worst year, I think the worst leader in any country has to be Donald Trump in history of mankind. You understand? This guy is unreal, bro. This guy is unreal. Like all the antics he's been doing and all the gangster shit he's doing, it's just mad.
Mate, it's like Suge Knight. Like when Suge Knight was like that, he would do underhand things to get the job done. It's almost like he's trying to outdo it. I can't even fathom how far it's gone from, what was respectable back in the day. That is just gone now, bro. Like you could do anything now.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, if this was another country, America probably would have intervened to say, we're not happy with it. Because pretty much what they accuse people like Gaddafi of doing to their people, he's doing worse. Donald Trump is doing all of these things, and when he's challenged, he's like, "No, you can't tell me nothing. You sit down, and shut up. You're fired." He thinks this is a flipping episode of Apprentice or whatever it is that he was doing as reality TV.
It's true.
It's joke. And then you've got a prime minister over here who's literally is confusing people. You know what I mean? You don't know whether you're coming or going. This whole thing about stay alert, stay home. No, don't stay home. Go to work if you can, but don't drive. Not saying don't drive. Don't get on public transport. Then it says drive, but you can't go to the West End anymore because it's 15 quid as a congestion charge, and we're extending the time, and it's going to go from Monday to Sunday. Like what?
But mate, I said it in one of our previous pods, man. They're just like a vacuum of leadership, as in like there is none. the leadership is so messed up, like screwed up, as in like they only care about what they've got to stay in power. And that's why this whole thing comes from. It's just power, bro.
Absolutely.
It should be like your duty to kind of help people get through this. And it feels like it's completely not. And I'm with you, man. And it feels very much like we've got to fend for ourselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I think just people just need to be more educated, man, because, you know, as I said, you know, the internet is the gift and the curse. It's great because obviously information can get to you like within seconds, and you can connect with people and share ideas and whatever. At the same time, it also opens up a load of other degenerates that come on the internet and chat so much shit and don't really pay attention to what's really going on. They don't read, they don't listen, they don't process nothing. And you know, some of the things that I've seen over the last few days and even over the whole Corona thing as well, it was just mad. There was so many things, people just writing this and writing that, and you know, till it hits you close to home where you realize that this shit is real, bro. You know, and then with the whole George Floyd thing, people were like, "Oh well, you know, why are we protesting for a guy who died 4,000 miles away? It's nothing to do with us." Blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm sure you went to get involved in Iraq because you thought the people were being persecuted and the Kurds were getting killed and whatever. Went and got involved and you stood up for them and protested for them. Some other people putting up pictures of Lee Rigby. Oh, what was the outrage when Lee? I'm like, Lee Rigby's killers were caught straight away, and everyone came out and was outraged by it. Do you know what I mean? And so much stuff, like people just twisting stuff. And you know, I'm seeing young racists, I'm seeing old racists, ignorant racists. I'm seeing just people just giving misinformation left, right, and center. Other idiots jumping on there talking rubbish when they don't really know nothing about it. And questioning stuff at the wrong time, you know. There's so much I could talk about, bro, as you know.
Mate,
so,
yeah, but this needs to be heard, man. And this is why, mate. This is why I'm here to listen, man. I'm here to listen as well. Like you saying that just makes me think. Race didn't start here. Racism didn't start here. Think about how many instances it's been that people don't even fully focus on. Remember when Ian Wright was getting all that grief and all that racist abuse?
Listen, we had so much. We even had we had Raheem Sterling, we've had John Barnes, we've had Obama Yang, we've had so many different incidents that have happened over the years, and that's just the ones that are publicized and televised because these people are celebrities and people are known. What about the stuff that just us everyday people just deal with on a regular basis? Me getting pulled over by the police and the policeman's telling me, why are you wearing those gloves? It looked like you was trying to conceal your identity. And I was like, if I was trying to conceal my identity, I'd have a balaclava while I'm driving over my face and whatever. And then he says, oh, but you know, these kind of expensive cars these are the kind of cars that black people normally steal. I mean, you're a police officer and you say that to me? You have no idea who I am, whatever. Then another one will pull me over. Put your hands where I can see them. Get out of the car. I'm looking, I'm like, why are you talking to me? You know what I mean? Like, so many things. And you say let me make a phone call because I need to let them know where I am, blah, blah, blah. No. Don't make a phone call. You might be calling them to stash the coke. And I'm like, wow. And when you tell when you tell people that ain't black this stuff, they're looking at you like, wow. And I'm like, what? This don't happen to you, right? And they're like, no. Do you know what I mean? And so when we talk about these things, it's not because people want to complain, because we don't. You don't hear most black people or black guys like myself. We're not all over Twitter or social media going, oh, I'm so fed up with this country. Oh, I don't like it. No, we don't moan about it. We just carry on with it. Instead, the moment you talk about it, you then get other people saying, oh, no, but you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't know what you're talking about because you haven't walked in my shoes to see what we're dealing with, you know? And obviously this has then gotten escalated to the killing of these numerous black people, whether it's in America or whether it's in UK or whether it's in France, whether it's in Australia, wherever. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of incidents that we could cite too long. We ain't even got enough time to discuss them. And some of these names we don't even know about, you know? And then they say stuff like, oh, but you know, when the gangs are killing each other, I'm like, the gangs, so the job of the police is to catch these people. It's crime. It's not about anyone's, predisposed to be a gang member or a criminal. It's just, these are the people that are doing it. They're criminals. Deal with them. Get on with it. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mate, it's kind of frustrating, isn't it, when you say it like that, because you realise that it's been going on for so long. Change just seems so small. Change just seems so incremental. And that's why I hope with this, like, even if they do sweeping changes to the US police force, it'll affect the culture I'm in, which is rap and hip hop, but it'll also, hopefully, in the UK, I'm guessing there's a lot of issues with education, health. I think health is another big thing, bro. Like, when you look at the reports of how COVID's actually hit our country, and it's hit the ethnic minorities.
Yeah, more disproportionately than the mainstream population.
Yeah,
no,
we have to look why that is.
Well, we know why it is. It's because of obviously being underprivileged. It's that simple. It's underprivileged, not enough access to certain facilities and amenities, education and joblessness. And if you're broke, you're going to go and buy the cheap, bad food. You can't go to a gym or you can't exercise. You're predisposed to eating starchy food, sugary food. You know what I mean? And it's mad because when you look in the supermarkets and your stores, organic food is way more expensive. And if you're not earning enough money, you're not going to be able to afford to buy organic food when you've got to feed your whole family. So there's loads of reasons why these things actually affect the more underprivileged part of the society more than, majority, middle class, whatever they are. You know what I mean? Like, it's mad. And the way it's affected them is mad. And also, not even just that. Then you look at the jobs, the type of jobs that we get. A lot of them are front-facing customer service, where you're dealing with the members of the public, so you're more exposed and vulnerable to actually being affected by the COVID. Do you know what I mean? And that's really where it comes from.
Yeah. You're right, man. It's true. And I think what it is just like, if it's so systematic, if you really want change, I think people have to kind of change their everyday lives as well. I think we talk about like boycotts, we talk about like, certain, like you say, in their foods. It's really odd, isn't it? I remember noting that a few times, like going to Aldi and being like, why am I having to pay more for me to live longer?
Exactly. It makes no sense. I don't know. And I can't, even now I can't answer you to say, oh, well, this is why. But it's just because I suppose they feel like, well, we're going to just put a bit more tax on it because it's supposed to be better for you, so you can pay a bit more money for it. It's mad. Because half, in actual fact, I'm going to say more than half of it is actually tax. It's not so much that the stuff's more expensive, it's just they tax it more. That's all it is. And tax, where does it go? Back to the government, and they reckon they're using it to improve the country, but really.
Yeah, man. I've still got potholes all over my lawn, man, or whatever, innit?
All over, man. It's mad. Potholes, all sorts of shit that ain't right. But, exactly. Yeah.
But Twang, man, I appreciate you just taking time out to sit down and talk to us, man. It feels good. It feels good for me to hear someone like yourself. Like, the positive thing is rubbing off, man.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, as I said, you just have to kind of get on with it, man. We can't just sit back and be defeated. Definitely not. As I say, it's not about how many times you fall down. It's about how many times you get back up. And that's literally it. So they can try and knock us down. You can kill us today, but you can't kill us tomorrow because we'll be back. You don't die, we multiply. You know them ones there.
Bruh, man. I know, bro. Man, that's good, man. It's good to hear from you. We love you out here, bro. It's, the love is real, bro.
Nah, you know what? And I appreciate everything every single day. Like when I read some of my feed, when I read messages I get on Instagram or on Facebook or Twitter, and it's nothing but that whole stuff about giving people their roses while they're still alive. I'm not gonna lie, I receive it in bountiful. Do you know what I mean? So I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all my fans. You guys know this anyway. Everyone knows if they know me and they know my music, they know for a fact that I'm one of them people that I'm always approachable. I'm always giving back, and I'm always appreciative. So I don't take nothing for granted.
I love that, man. Love that. Learn from this, people. Let's go, man. But yeah, bro. So you take it easy. Stay safe, man.
You too.
Next time you want to come back on, just holler, bro. We're ready. We're ready.
I'll be there, man. Create 808 always, man. You know, like that.
Bro, wicked, man. Well, you stay safe, man. And I'll chat to you soon. I'm sure I'll see you on Twitter or something anyway, innit? So
definitely. All right, Sam.
No worries, man. Peace, bro.
Stay blessed.
Take it easy.
All right.